process of bringing one attention to the experience occurring to the present moment, which can be developed through the practice and the meditation or other training, intense from the mental concentration, the evaluation, the focus, the constants of subject task, and the individual subject to the topic may also include the concept of nonfiction, the imagination, the other object of the mind, the hyperfocus, contain the subject from a sign from the important task. Hyperfocus may bear relationship to the concept of the flow, the circumstances, the flow of the hyperfocus can be aid to the achievement into the circumstances of the situation. Some of the focus of behavior could be reliability, the hyperfocus of the flow described in the more glowing term subjects that are not side of the sum of the condition under circumstance intelligence and the development of high potential tasks of the leadership, which time comes in the current leadership to leave their position and known successful planning. The type that leadership to develop usually requires the extensive transfer of the individual between the department and many. It's usually required international transfer and experience to build future leadership. Successful planning requires a sharp focus on organization, future vision, order that aligns the leadership to development, to the future, to the organization, to the aspire, to the create, to the assess leadership, to the development, to the base of the knowledge of the history and the true of the dream. For such of the plan to be successful, as screening the future leadership should be based on not only what known to have, but what can aspire to become. The personal, individual, successful planners should include leadership membership who attain the future vision. The dimension should be considered the skill, the knowledge, the role, the perception, the degree, the exception of leading, the role, the goals, the ideas, the future, the desire that a person, a group, a person envision the plan committee to achieve. People endured, reach the goals with a finite time by setting deadlines. A goal roughly similar to the purpose and aim, the intent which guides reaction to the end, to the subject, either the physiological object, the abstract object has the increase in the value, the performance of the following ways: the goals, the direction, the attention, the efforts, the goals, the activities, the direct goals that lead to great effort, the goals that increase the present goals, prolonging effort, goals that lead to arousing and discovering the task, the knowledge and the strategy. A person relationship between the goals and performance depends on several factors. The first goal must be considered important to the individual, must commit goal setting and help increase performance by participating in self, not directly improve the performance, efficiency, enhance goal community for the goals and the effort and the people and the feedback and the details and the progress and relationship of the goals, the intention, strategy, which the choice of several assumptions about the nature and the function of the organization made to the choice and the strategies and the basic building blocks of the organization are the goals and the terms. Therefore, the basic units of the change are the groups and the individual. Always relevant, the change in the goals, reduction between the parts of the organization, developing the collaboration, the condition, discussion, making a healthy organization located in the effort and the source of the rather than the particular role of the level, organization, sub-unit, organization, individual, manage their affairs against the goals, control the interim measurement, not to the basic meaning strategy. One goal is a healthy organization develop, generate communication, mutual trust, confidence between the cross-level people, such what they have created people. Effort by change must be allowed to the activity, performance in the sense of the ownership and the planning, company strengths, company personal values, the implementing key, the management, the board, the industry, the opportunity, the board's exception, which organization, business, and interest, what is the considered the value of the customer, what is the service should be included, excluding the portfolio offering, what geographic scope and organization, what different of the organization from the competition, the eyes and the customer and stockholder, which skills and the resource should be developed with the organization, the financial services department, the worksheet, assistant department, head in the preparation of the department, the budget and the assessments, through the administration calls and the meeting, the manager to present the discussion, the plans in the following years, and the projected level activity. The manager can work with the financial service or work alone to prepare the estimate time of the department coming years. The complete budget presents to the manager of the executive officer through the approval to the justification to the budget to the request may require in writing and the cost in the case and the manager talk and the task to administration to the budget to the requirement to the adjustment to the budget to the submission but required to the result to the phrase of the process. The budget is setting to the example to the level of the organization, the function to the assessment to the location to the available capital use of the achievement target to the firm to the gross to the profit to the principal to include the separate increase in the value in the output and the inventory, which in the value of the adjustment reflected average price during the accounting period. Profit also realized from all kinds of property transaction, not in the product as a capital gain. Certain criteria to the object, for example, project management, employee performance management, personal development, to the letter, to the usually specific possible, to the common version of the remaining letter, referring to the active relevant time in the bond, to the entrepreneurial, to the venture, to the typical new emerged business that aims to meet the market needs, development, business model around the product, service, process, to the platform, to the startup, to the usual company designed to achieve, to develop, to scalable business and the model of the startup, the high rates and the failures, To the success, to include companies that have become large and the influence, to the entrepreneurs that have been described as capital and willingness to develop the organization, to manage the business and the ventures along with the risks and the orders, and make profits with the entrepreneurs focused on launching and running the business and high risk involved in launching startups, significant profits, to start up business and having close business combination leads to the boards defined to the terms to the subjects used to, especially to the field, to the economy, used to the entrepreneurs entitled and to the ability to find, act upon, to the opportunity to transact, to the invention, to the technology, to the new product, to the entrepreneur, to recognize the commercial potential, to the individual, to recognize the capital, talent, and other resource that invention, commercial invention, sense of the term, entrepreneur, also capital, invention, activities of parts established to the firm, to the additional seminars, to the activities of part in the business, to the calculator, to the subject, to the presented, to the value of the cash flow, the in cost, to the presented, the value of the cash flow, describes the benefit, the cash, to the time, to the money, the date, to the effect value of the cash flow. For example, 99 cents promise to receive $1 in a month, but promise to receive 2 out of 20 years. To the future, that would be much. That's the same. That's the payback of the cost of the case to the equal to the described to the current value, the future cash flow that based upon the market, the return of the technology cash flow, the equal value over the time in the series, the defense of the effective value, the valuable of over time. With each future cash flow becoming less valuable to the cash flow, more valuable to the increase of the cash to the customer based on presented flow of investment immediately begins and earning return to determine the calculation of the cost and the benefits in the period of the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, the fourth quarter, to the yearly, to the half yearly, to the full report, to the future value, to the return of the market, and the investment, the result, and the net and the profit, to the positive gains, to the cash flows, the value of the terms upon the funds, the capital budget, a company should be pursued into the investment in the past positive, protected term, capital consistent into the investment project highlights and the cost of the investment. Analyze and the method usually during the value of the money appraising the long-term project widely used to the economic finance and accounting in the case of the future cash flow positive income. The cash flow was compared to the present and the money to the day to the present and the value and the future that taken inflation, the return, the count, and the cost, and making the present calculation similar value of the calculation using the value loans and the mortgage, the property, the bonds, and the calculation that makes the company between the cash flow.